Okay, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things I noticed at the end of what Mark was sharing was just he was just saying there's always books, and we are going from one top academic, Dr. Mark Bussum, to another one, Professor Linda Ronnie. Those of you who are not familiar with her, she has got an extensive list of accolades. She has been one of the top teachers at UCT. I'm not sure how many times, Linda, I've seen the posters on your wall in your office, but certainly you are one of the premier lecturers, what was at the Graduate School of Business, then moving across as the Dean of the Commerce Faculty at Upper Campus. Is that right? Just before COVID and the fires hit. And now, as I understand it, you are back at the Graduate School of Business. But certainly, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the hands of one of the premier academics and certainly one of the best teachers at UCT, Dr. Linda Ronnie. Professor Linda, how do we even go there now? Professor.
Correct, Mark.
That's right. Oh, great. And Linda's going to be just sharing with us a little bit about her talk on toxic leadership. So Linda, let me hand over to you and just take us through what you'll be sharing with us in September. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mark, and good to see you again. Yeah, you know, when one is a student, it's quite hard for lecturers when meeting their students in the future as their life unfolds. I can't help still thinking of you as a student. So this is very nice to see you. So everyone, let me talk a little bit about what I'm going to be sharing with you later in the year. Organizations are increasingly beginning to recognize that some leaders are hostile towards employees and their peers, and they're searching for more understanding about how these destructive leadership styles, commonly known to us as toxic leadership, how these styles impact work outcomes and how they can be addressed. So my talk is entitled Toxic Leadership, Stemming the Cycle of Destructive Behavior. As we know, of course, leaders have the power to create either an environment that allows people to grow and give their best, or a toxic workplace where everyone is unhappy. So some of the things that I'll be talking about are the following, and that is that not all bad bosses are toxic leaders. And I think we need to appreciate that. We need to appreciate exactly what toxic leadership entails. And for me, it's really a combination of self-centered attitudes, motivations, and behaviors that have adverse effects on employees, on company performance, and of course on organizational sustainability. And there are three key elements for me of this destructive leadership style. The first is an apparent lack of concern for the well-being of employees. Then secondly, a personality or interpersonal technique that negatively affects organizational culture. And thirdly, a conviction or belief held by employees that the leader is primarily motivated by self-interest. So please join me as my talk will discuss not only how we see these behaviors manifest in organizations, but also ways in which organizations, through the people within them, but very much so what role the HR department and staff can play in addressing what I consider to be a progressively disturbing workplace phenomenon. Thanks, Mark.
Also lovely to see you again. I can definitely imagine you not ever seeing me anything more than a student. It's lovely to see you again, and I'm really excited for your session in September. Something I've always just appreciated for those of you that haven't heard Linda speak is she has an amazing ability to take what's happening on the cutting edge of academic and empirical research and just make it very, very practical to the here and now. I think that's why her lecturing at the MBA and at the exec ed levels at the business school have been so practically helpful for some of the leaders out there. And certainly for those of you who are interested in this kind of thing, where leadership has got this kind of sharp edge to it, that is not a particularly good one, I think this is the talk that you really want to make sure you see. Linda, I see you nodding. Is there anything you want to add to that? Sorry, I'm so used to an interactive forum.
No, you've got it spot on, Mark. I think we really need to look at the practical ways we can deal with this, because it's, power is at play when the leader exhibits these behaviors, and how can we deal with that is quite a tricky scenario.
Yeah, you're actually reminding me, Linda, so often what gets thrown around is the kind of snakes in suits concept, the psychopath levels in the work environment. But as I understand it, what you're going to be taking us through is not the kind of extreme cases, but just the subtleties that can cause extreme damage. I think that's what's vital, is we're not all sitting with the 3% of psychopath snakes in suits, but actually there's subtleties to leadership that need to be navigated, and those are what can cause this kind of toxic leadership.
Indeed. And I think one of the things that I find great comfort from is that if we indulge in a bit of reflection as leaders, we can see these behaviors in ourselves and think about ways that we might improve our own leadership. And that's equally vital.
Yeah, and scary, Linda. So excited to have you back. Ladies and gentlemen, Linda was with us a number of years ago, and she was voted best speaker in the conference that she spoke at. So we are really excited to have her again. I feel like that's a label that just follows you around, Linda. I think it's just, you just need to arrive, and it's best speaker. It's so great. Thank you for being with us this year again, and we'll see you again in September.